Got Kiwikaki spawning in the top left-hand corner as our yellow Protoss once again. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Liquid Sheth, our purple Zerg, and the map is going to be Tal'Darim Altar.
Oh boy, I'm so excited.
I know, right?
I'm juiced right now.
Finally going to have a macro game between these two. The games have been going pretty quick. Kiwikaki trying a lot of really heavy gateway play in the first two games.
Well, just because it's Tal'Darim Altar, we can't say it's going to be a macro game.
No, that's true.
It could be a short one still, given the way the Kiwikaki plays.
It
He's
almost always ends up being a macro game on this map, though. In ZVP, at least, it's... Well, actually not true. Zergs can definitely all in on this map, and there's also that Infestor timing push where you hit the natural with a bunch of infested Terrans.
Oh, what Cygnus has been doing lately?
A lot of people.
That two-base Infestor play?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It works out well. It's
very
a
solid.
Solid timing push. It does a lot of damage.
Now, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Oh, Sheth with a 10 pool.
How cute.
Sheth with a 10 pool here.
It's going to get scouted right away by Kiwikaki, though, and that's going to be a problem for Sheth, because I guarantee you Kiwikaki will get a full wall up, and he'll be ready to deal with it.
Yeah, at the very least, by seeing this pool, he's not throwing him a Nexus first. That I can guarantee.
That's for sure.
Yeah, he's going to go with the Forge Gateway wall off with the cannon in the back. There he sees the 10 pool opening.
Sheth's like, damn it.
Yeah, I know, right? The one time Sheth decides to cheese, it gets immediately scouted on a 4-player map. Now, the thing here also is Sheth doesn't know where Kiwi's at. So even if he gets these early Zerglings out, he's not going to know where to attack.
Yeah. The one good thing about getting out the Zerglings so quick is that it basically forces the Protoss into doing a full wall, and they're not going to get that Nexus up for quite some time. So
I still don't think it's worth going for a 10 pull over something like a 14 or a 16 pull.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, because you can just drone up behind this once you get the 6 lings out, and you get that early queen, start your injects a little bit earlier. But, I mean, I agree with you. It's definitely not as economic as getting a quick hatchery or going for a 14 pull into a hatch, but it does force the Protoss player to obviously get a full wall going. And from Kiwikaki, do we have what? The double gateway?
Well, no. For a second there, he was sitting here and he didn't know where he was going to go. And then he said, well, my Overlord's already going right, so I might as well just go to the top left and hope I scout Kiwikaki up there. And he's going to find Kiwi up here with his Zerglings. And actually, no, the cannon will be up there in time, and it looks like it's a full wall. So the Zerglings won't get in. And yeah, you're alluding to the double gateway opening. And we have Kiwi going back to his tried and true method of 2 gateways with a lot of Zealots, early pressure. And we'll see what Kiwi follows that up with. Traditionally, he goes with the Stargate play. But with Sheth scouting that out, he's going to want to get a Road Shorin down or a lot of Spine Crawlers. Not a lot, but a couple Spine Crawlers at the front door to deal with the Zealot pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Kiwi's still not grabbing a Nexus. He's actually getting a Zealot first. 2 Zealots. Wow.
Yeah,
3 Zealots.
Uh-oh.
So he's not even going for a Nexus right now, and he's not even going to go for +1. He's just going to go for some very, very aggressive early game Zealot pressure, and I don't know if I agree with this. Every time I see him try and do this, it just doesn't seem to work out for him.
You know what I think he's banking on? He's banking on the fact that Sheth is going to try to macro out of the 10 pull and therefore not have any defenses at all. And he's hoping that Sheth thinks that he just expanded and the gateway timing isn't going to come yet, when in fact it may come within the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's what he's thinking, but 2 queens, 6 Zerglings that are already out. He can make additional Zerglings. It just seems so risky to me, and that Overlord sees all these Zealots running around. He sees the additional Zealot there, so that Overlord sees everything coming from Kiwikaki. Sheth's got to know what's up at this point. Here comes speed for his lings, and some additional Zerglings are being made right now.
Yeah, and only 3 Zealots coming out right now. Oh, 5 Zealots, actually. He had 2 at the Zelnaga Tower already. So I still feel like this may come as a bit of a surprise to Sheth. Sheth still doesn't know that the Nexus is much, much delayed. I'm sure Sheth thought that the Nexus was way earlier, and here comes 5 Zealots. No crawlers here. Sheth has got to get his Zerglings here. He's bringing up his secondary queen. Will he be able to hold? 1 queen may end up going down if Sheth doesn't pull it away, which he will do, and the rest of the Zerglings arrive. There's still going to be a lot of damage dealt by these Zealots, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Sheth is certainly going to be able to hold on. Some drones will go down, though. Oh, no, actually, Sheth doing a great job right there, microing his drones. The 2 queens just picking away at these Zealots, and it looks like all the Zealots will go down, so the pressure has been held off easily, and then he can drone up behind this, and no damage really done there by that Zealot pressure from Kiwikaki. And that's what I was saying. Every time I see him try and do this, you know, it does force Ling production, that's for sure, but his second Nexus is so delayed that it really just doesn't make it worthwhile. And he's still chrono boosting out tons of Zealots at this point. So he hasn't been chrono boosting probes this entire game. He's just been chrono boosting out Zealots. They don't have +1. The Lings have speed now.
Yeah.
I think it's just...
and the Zealots are at the front door, so they're trapped. They can't get back home. For now.
I think it's just too much chrono boost used on the Zealots and not enough reward, or not enough potential reward to warrant using that many chrono boosts on your gateways.
Well, I think the biggest point you make is the fact that the Nexus is way later, so Kiwikaki can't keep up in pro production compared to Sheth now, because Sheth has 2 hatcheries, about to get a 3rd. He's going to be injecting larvae this whole time. He didn't lose a single queen. He's going to be droning up way hard. And, you know, Sheth has essentially been allowed to recover from what was not the most optimal build, a 10 pool, which he didn't do any damage with. But look at this! Another wave of Zealots from Kiwikaki. Wow.
And now that there's this many Speedlings out, some additional Speedlings joining in now, they're going to surround these Zealots.
Yeah.
And it looks like Kiwikaki's trying to deny the
I don't
3rd here.
understand this. He should have grouped up those
Not
Zealots.
going to work out for him. Zealots getting picked off one at a time. They're all going to go down here.
Yeah.
And I think Sheth pulling ahead here, 58 supply to 39 now for Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki's lost so many Zealots thus far in this game. He's really going to have to do something drastic to turn this around, and he's going into his
Double Stargate.
Tried and true double Stargate, and look, it's going to get scouted immediately by... Oh, Sheth actually turning his Overlord the other way. He might miss this.
Yeah, he might miss this. If that Stalker can come out right now, the Chrono Boost going down to get a Stalker to deal with the Overlord, but he's got to worry about the front door. It looks like Sheth decides to pull away. I think he had an opportunity there
Likewise.
to maybe bust that front down. There's only one cannon. And now the Stalker will meet the Overlord, so he doesn't get to scout the double Stargate. And that's a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Sheth tried to figure out what's going on there, scouted out most of the main, but didn't check the back of the main mineral line to see those 2 Stargates. So Kiwikaki will get away with that tech switch unknown, but there are Zerglings in position around Kiwikaki's base in order to find potential Void Rays moving out, any Warp Prisms, anything like that. And he also has a ton of Spore Crawlers on the way right now, 3 Spore Crawlers, so he assumes something's up.
Yeah, and we saw him do this on Metalopolis too, when he was just in the blind, in the dark. He scouted out 4 gases. He didn't know what was going on. Dude, Spore Crawler, super safe. It protects you against 2 of the most feared Protoss tech switches, Star Templar and Air. So he's going to be pretty well protected. And Phoenix coming out after the... Okay, I thought he made Phoenix first. So he made Void Rays, and then he's going to follow it up with Phoenix. It's a great harassment air composition, but with the 3 crawlers out already and the Hydra Den, it's going to be a hard time for Sheth to... for Kiwikaki to do damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And here come the 2... first Void Rays. They're going to take out that Overlord. He actually hid the Phoenix. Additional Phoenix are probably rallied to those Void Rays right now. Going to follow that up. And he's going to have to do some serious, serious damage with these Void Rays and the Phoenix to really get back into this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. Zergling here scratching its head with its foot. We'll see the Phoenix as they were moving out. Hydralisk's Den now researching the Grooved Spines upgrade, which, of course, give Hydralisks 1 additional range. But no opening at all for Kiwikaki to get in here and do damage. The Crawlers, I love the placement of the 2 Crawlers, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, full coverage over the natural. And it looks like there is an opening in the main here, but there's a Crawler here, there's a Queen there, 10 Hydralisks on the way as well. So this Air Force is probably going to be shut down here unless Kiwikaki can make something happen. He's charging on the Extractor right now, and that's nice. There's the full charge building up for Kiwikaki, but is he going to be able to bust through the 10 Hydras coming up? That's another story.
No, I really don't think he is. Looks like he's going to commit here towards the main, but there are 3 Hydras up right now. Additional Hydras coming in here, and I think that's enough Hydras. That's definitely enough Hydras to ward this off. That last Void Ray is going to go down, and that airplay from Kiwikaki just got completely shut down. So both of his tech switches, the initial Zealot push and the Void Ray Phoenix follow-up, have been completely shut down.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with you. It looks like a Zergling run in here coming from Sheth. He's got 0/0 links, so they're not likely to do that much damage. Kiwikaki's got 1 weapons already. These Zerglings will probably be cleaned up pretty easily here. And yeah, there it is. Force field's also being expended though, so that's nice for Sheth. He did expend some of that force field energy, and more forces coming in. And it looks like Sheth really thinking about going for the gung-ho victory push here. But he will have to be careful. These Hydras are off creep. And if he gets caught in the middle of the field by these Phoenix, he could lose all of his Hydralisks. And there goes the Hydras. There is quite a bit of energy saved up on these Phoenix. And all the Hydras are picked up in the air right now. But not enough Phoenix to kill them off. And the Hydras return back to the ground. But it looks like there's enough Zealots to push that away.
I think Kiwikaki actually made a mistake there, picking up so many Hydras at the same time. His Phoenixes weren't attacking.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was a pretty big micro error on his part. I think those Phoenixes could have cleaved through those Hydras pretty quickly if he had used them properly. And he's also getting air upgrades here, and he's continuing to build Phoenix. So losing a bunch of Phoenix right there. They're an expensive unit. They take a fair amount of time to build.
Yeah, they're not cost efficient against Hydralisks.
They can be. It really depends. I think in that situation, he certainly could have cleaned up all those Hydras without losing very many.
If he had picked up, like you said,
one or two at a time,
and left enough Phoenix in the air to attack with, sure. But you've got to have a bunch of energy saved up on the Phoenix. And I mean, that time he just messed up the micro pretty badly. I agree with you. Here comes the run-in of Zerglings once again. They're still at 0-0. They will be cleaned up very easily. Don't agree with the force fields. I don't know what that was about.
I guess he was trying to trap all those lings in there, but they got out well before those force fields were able to trap them in there. And Sheth right now just probing, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. He sees the third coming up. He's getting tabs on the army. He has a bunch of Hydralisks back at his main, and he's actually transitioning into a Spire right now.
You know what's surprising to me? It doesn't look like Sheth is that far ahead in this game. I actually feel like Kiwikaki has pulled himself back in. If he can establish his third, get a couple Colossus out, he'll be back in this game, man. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And Sheth, is now taking his fourth. Sheth hasn't even started spreading his creep, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
There's the first creep tumor we see out of Sheth at his natural, so he really has no creep to work with.
And the Hydras are so slow without
And that's
creep.
actually something I've been noticing throughout the entire series. Sheth just really hasn't been focusing on spreading his creep at all. I mean, it's just not a focus of his right now.
It does take some APM to do it. Oh, he's going to lose some Phoenixes here. Kiwikaki will. But as I was saying before, it does take some APM to do it. Maybe Sheth just focusing on other areas of the game. But I agree with you. Creep is a vital part of Zerg play, especially if you're going Hydras. Hydras benefit the most from creep out of any other Zerg unit.
Absolutely. They're
so
slow as a snail off creep.
Whee! Yeah, they're pretty slow.
Whee!
Whee! Sheth grabbing a fifth now. At the very least, he has got a lot of map control. Look at the upgrades, man. He almost fills up half the screen with all the things he's getting right now.
Yeah.
Carapace 1, Melee 1, Overlord Speed, Ranged 1, Infestors, Corruptors, Greater Spire, another Hatchery, 7 Crawlers.
8 Crawlers.
He
9.
is on production bungalow right now. Cowabungo Macho.
Cowabungo Macho.
Hatchery Productions.
Somebody's got to write that down.
Yes.
Cowabungo Macho mode.
Yes.
I like it.
Well, he's going berserker now.
Were you going for Cowabunga?
No, it's just kind of going for a little bit of a mix.
Sounds like a cross between
Cowabunga
bungalow and... Is bungalow even a word?
Yeah, bungalow's a word. It's actually like
it's like a little
house.
hut, right?
Yeah.
He's in bungalow macro mode right now.
But doesn't it sound cool to say?
It does sound kind of cool. Now, he's going to sit back here, and I think he's just going to try and tech straight to Broodlords under the cover of these Spine Crawlers.
I like it.
And once he gets those Broodlords, he'll have a pretty effective army here. He's going to need a lot of Corruptors, though, because we do have several Colossus and those Phoenixes.
I don't know why Kiwikaki, well, all the Zerglings roaming the map right now. It's a parade of lings across Tal'Darim right now.
The ants go marching one by one.
When the Saints, or when the Saints, or when the Zerglings marching. And hey, you know what? I really feel like Kiwikaki should get some Void Rays right now. It looks like he's trying to go for like a Death Ball style, but he has no Void Rays at all. Yeah. And if he doesn't have Void Rays, the Corruptor's going to eat his heir alive and the Colossus. So I'm not sure why he's not making any Void Rays right now. That's very confusing to me.
Yeah. Kiwi's Death Ball are going to be real strong here, though. But he's investing so heavily in Colossus that these Broodlords are going to be great for Sheth. He needs to...
Like Tony the Tiger says,
yeah.
Great!
He needs to get some some extra Corruptors here, though, because there are... Corruptors would just work wonders. There's so many Colossus. Once he cuts through those Phoenix, he can start to work down those Colossus.
Goodness.
And here we go.
Here comes the big Death Ball push. Now, like I said before, no Void Ray support. We'll see if he can do without. A lot of Infestors, a lot of Hydras and Broodlords. The Broodlords are in the front, though. Fungal goes down. That was a money Fungal. If he can keep this army locked in one tight ball, he doesn't have to worry about it nearly as much. But the Stalker's blinking forward as Fungal fades off. The Broodlords being focused down right now. If all those Broodlords go down, then Sheth is in a lot of trouble. But the Zergling's coming in at the last second, and they are going to surround the Colossus, doing some good damage here, and it looks like Sheth will clean up.
Wow, very well handled by Sheth right there. Picks off 2 Colossus, third, fourth Colossus goes down.
Wow.
That's all the Colossus right now for Kiwikaki. All he has remaining is some gateway units, and Sheth just on an absolute rampage right now with his Broodlords, his Infested Terrans, his Hydras, and fends that off quite well. And once again, we see Sheth on 5 base. Kiwikaki attempting to get a 4th right now on the left-hand side of the map. He's trying to take that pocket expansion, but he's reduced to just Stalkers right now. That's all he has. Yeah. All of his high-tech units have been killed. He lost all his Phoenixes. He lost all of his Colossus, his Sentries. And Kiwikaki's in a lot of trouble here. Supplies right now, 198 to 120. This next push from Sheth could be all she wrote.
You know, for a second there, I thought Sheth was in trouble. I thought Kiwi's army was big enough to roll through, but, you know, Sheth just came out with a macro. He came out with a bunch of reinforcements. They surrounded the Colossus. Really well played right there by Sheth. Good control during the main battle. That was key. And he was able to kill off all the Colossus. And like I said, when you separate the spinal cord from the limbs,
the skeletal cord.
Little Nord.
The skeletal cord.
The spinal cord. Well, it's the same thing.
I know. I remember you called it a skeleton cord earlier.
Really?
That was funny. Now all these broodlings are surrounding the Stalkers.
That's game, man.
The Corruptors just took out all of the and there it is. There's the GG.